Hello, all. How are you doing today? Right. How's everyone doing? Anybody, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, hi Paul.
Oh, hey, Mark. Wasn't hearing anybody and wasn't sure
Yeah,
my mic was working or not.
it's quiet on the line. I'm assuming we're waiting for May to join.
I think we are waiting for May to join. She was thinking she wasn't going to be here, but she then changed an appointment and was able to make it. At least that's what she said. Just getting that note set up here. Sridhar, have you had any email communications with Jeffrey Ho? I sent him all the information on joining these meetings and all of that good stuff. But he's replacing.
To who? To who?
I think it's Jeff Ho, isn't that his name?
From
From Marvell. To replace Manoj on the outreach committee.
I think I am not in that mail chain.
Okay. I just
Because
didn't.
I don't recollect that name at all. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm checking in my emails. There are other Jeffs, but not from Marvel.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, he hasn't contacted me either, but that was the designated person from Kerry to
Okay.
let's see, let me make sure. Yeah,
Mail.
Ho at marvell.com. So Jeffrey Ho. And I sent Jeffrey information on joining the Slack channels, the lists, and all of that good stuff, but haven't seen anything yet. Morning, May and John. See you guys joined.
Morning, Paul.
Good morning.
So All right, so let's see, the latest from the SmartNIC Summit is on my agenda. So just what is the latest there? The latest for the templates, give you guys an update on what we've worked on the templates, website design. And that's all I have. Does anybody else have any other topics that they want to put forward as the agenda?
Yeah, just one thing, Mark. Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
So regarding that, the new member outreach from LF, right? So we'll be presenting it next week. So I have either I myself will present, or I request somebody from the business development to join the call and present the slides next week. So maybe if you
Okay.
can add it to the agenda, because I think if you remember in the board meeting, the suggestion is to get the outreach members, take them into conference with this proposal. And once there is an agreement within the outreach committee, then we can bring that to the board. Kind of.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe if you or maybe may send out a mail to all the outreach members for next week, if they can join and hear this proposal out, because they may have to vote on this, or maybe whether to go or not, kind of a thing. So we need a quorum next week.
Yeah, we need a quorum.
I think maybe today we may be having quorum.
No, we have 3 so far. So we have Mark from, we have 4 with John and Wency. So we have 4 of 10, and we do not have quorum.
Maybe we can ask Gurpreet to vote for Ben. Okay. Yeah, next week. Next week we'll do that. Yeah.
Yes, sorry guys, sorry to interrupt. Since Sridhar mentioned my name, I know Sridhar from our past work at Sparent. I used to work with Sridhar earlier, but I'm with Red Hat, and this is the first time I'm joining the OPI meeting.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I'm in the product management team there, focusing on OSP networking, REL networking, and NFV. So just coming up to speed to see, what's the progress we are making on the OPI side, as far as support on the on the Kubernetes and OpenStack, both the ends, right, on the products.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
We won't get into that too much. We're going to talk more about the website design and slide design and that sort of stuff.
I see.
Here on the outreach committee meeting. Glad to have you here. I would think probably your interest would be in the API working group.
I see.
The first one, because I believe they are talking about Kubernetes networking there, and a few other things in that group.
I see. Okay. I just saw the email in my mailbox, and I said, "Hey, let me join." And maybe
glad to have you here. Glad to have you on the call. And if you've got any expertise and want to help us with website design, let me know.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. The same here. That's my I've got more engineering than branding DNA in me, but we're doing what we can.
Sounds good.
Nonetheless. Oh, thank you, Sridhar. Sridhar posted the OPI lists link for finding all of the OPI meetings. You can find the calendar there that lists the meetings that are happening and when they're happening. And click on the links there. You can get the invites as like an iCal attachment and add them to your calendar.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Any other agenda items from folks, or should we start up.
Hey, it's Madeline. I just wanted to add the press release to the agenda, please.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, so my first thing here is SmartNIC Summit. We had a meeting with the SmartNIC Summit team on Thursday of last week, I believe. I think that's what day it was, and confirmed that we're good to go with our half-day summit. We are good to go with a probably 10-minute mini talk during the keynotes. So after the main keynotes, they're going to have, several different talks during that time. We'll have here's an intro to OPI. We've got that session. Then it was discussed that session, rather than having an Ask Me Anything discussion during the breakout sessions, was more in line with what SmartNIC Summit folks wanted to do. So we agreed on that. Mark, I'm not sure if you've seen the half-day summit changes, but one of the things that came about there and in the TSC last week. So SmartNIC came back to us, SmartNIC Summit folks came back to us and said, the agenda you guys have put together looks good. The fifth topic, which was the ARM Smart Ready, they said that looks too vendor specific. Can you make it not vendor specific or something like that? And so we discussed that in the TSC meeting last week. So you and I should chat on what we should do there and what the recommendations were. Does that work for you?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe there may be just a misunderstanding, right? Because that program is an open source project as well.
I understand.
But positioning is key. We can talk about that.
Positioning is key.
Help.
Yep. And the Intel folks were chomping at the bit to say the same thing. So we'll chat about that.
Yeah. Excellent. There was debate, maybe something else to add to that. Maybe that's a path we can take. There was debate in making that a separate session during the SmartNIC event as opposed to doing it under OPI.
Yeah, and that's what the SmartNIC Summit folks recommended, was to make that a separate breakout proposal, that talk, rather than putting it in with the half-day summit.
Okay. When do you want to discuss that, Paul? Do you want to bring that up at the TSC again, or do you envision a separate discussion?
I was just thinking, I think we should bring it up at TSC on Thursday, and it was, you weren't there to represent your point of view, so it was difficult having a constructive discussion. But if you're going to be in the TSC on Thursday, we can continue that discussion.
Okay, I'll make sure to pull in Samer, who submitted that proposal as well.
Okay.
Because the other thing that when we were discussing this was that it really only applies to DPUs, because you need to have that abstraction capability that the central processor provides. Mm-hmm. That was the end reason for us to say, okay, let's promote it under OPI. Do we know if there's an option to make that a talk for the general SmartNIC event, or would that just fall into the pool of talks that have to be
I think it would fall into the pool of talks that have to be approved as of yet. So, and I think they're getting close on that. So it would probably be good to submit that directly to Lance Leventhal, and I can send you his email address here in a bit.
Okay, I will kick off an email trail between you, myself, and Samer. I'll bring that up. We'll talk about meeting at a TSC and then the potential to put that into a separate session. I think to do that, I'd love to talk to Lance, right, and get just confirmation that we're not throwing away the talk, right, by doing this. It'd be a shame if it didn't get accepted, and we could have it as part of the OPI agenda.
And I put Lance's email address in the chat. So you've got it.
Yeah. Maybe I should just add them to the email as well, so we can have. an
Yeah,
open-
yeah. Add Lance, Sam, myself to the email, and we'll figure out a
Okay.
plan, and then we'll talk about it in TSC.
Perfect.
All right. So I have another action item is to add to the TSC agenda.
So Paul, when will this be submitted to SmartNIC?
When will what be submitted? A new abstract or?
The half-day schedule.
So we've already submitted a half-day schedule to them. They asked for the last one to be updated, the last session. And we will decide in the TSC what we replace that 5th session with, or if we just don't have a 5th session and expand the other 4 sessions to fill up the time.
Okay. And how quickly will they be adding this to the website?
That would be very nice to know. It seems like they are a bit behind on adding stuff to their website. They don't have any, they don't really have a schedule builder on their website yet.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah. They're about as I think they're more organized than we are here, but I'm not certain how much more.
Okay.
Okay. If that's all I had on the SmartNIC Summit discussion that I wanted to chat about. The next was, if I can find it, was going over the doc that we have here, the template. I'll put it into chat. This is the website template, kind of the content update that we're talking about, that we will then have the creative services team take this content and apply our branding guidelines to it. We had 2 working sessions last week where we worked on this. It was, I think, Mark, myself, John, you were there maybe, and Manoj was there.
I did the first one, I missed the second one.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll share real quick that where we're at, give people a chance to look at it. So we created the flow that we're looking at. So what's the business problem? How do we define a DPU? So what is OPI? So just basically our structure, goals and objectives, talk about use cases, current projects, and a call to action. And we came up with we wanted to split the problem. We've got a technology problem that we're looking to work on. And that is what is the DPU space? What is its problem? So we need heterogeneous compute and composability are 2 of the main reasons for the DPUs to come about. We gave some info there. We're going to talk about, we're adding a diagram for what is a DPU as opposed to a SmartNIC. One of the ways we'll talk about it is this diagram that we'll have updated. And it is a diagram that talks about the difference between a SmartNIC and a DPU and where that trust line is. I think many of you have seen this diagram. This is another representation of a similar concept. We're trying to figure out what to do with this slide. Then we get into the problem statement of why you should care about OPI. And we've got this flywheel effect. So we're creating standards that make it easier to deploy, easier to develop for, and easier to use. We'll create broader adoption, which addresses the vendor's needs. by having broader adoption, that lowers the cost for the end users and it feeds back into standards. So we've got kind of this flywheel effect that makes it the reason why you should care about OPI. So
I'm just curious, so you're saying that lower cost means there will be more standards, or just the standards will be more widely adopted?
probably the standards will be more widely adopted. I don't think lower cost feeds back into standards much, but we think that there's this, the fact that it's lower cost means that the ease of use and the ease of deploying is a benefit for the services vendors, ISVs that are putting services on these cards or using these cards to develop a service for customers. Broader adoption is a benefit for the vendors. Lower cost, lower TCO, it's the end users, because there's a standardization, it's a lower cost for them. They don't have to, it's a lower cost to operate these things. So it may not be lower cost for the device itself, but anyway, that's what we're talking about there.
Makes sense.
Yep. And so it just, we think that these benefits for all three groups that are using DPUs will keep that flywheel moving. So we've seen this slide. We want to add QR codes here so people can take screenshots of them if they want. Project goals, an updated slide on the Premier and general members. Talk about structure, scope. We've hidden these slides, and then that's as far as we've gotten. We haven't gotten to looking at these specific slides here yet, use cases, and these. So everything else is yet to be looked at, but we feel pretty confident with much of this up above. And I'm thinking we should have another working session this week, but I just haven't found a time that works to do that. My schedule this week is really packed, but I do have some time Thursday from noon to 2 that I could do something like that. So I guess a question to the group, anybody interested in working on this again later this week? And do you have time Thursday between noon and 2 Pacific that works for you?
What's your timeline, Paul, to close on that?
Checking on the availability Thursday.
So Mark, my timeline to close on this is I'd like to get it done in the next couple weeks so that we can hand it off to the creative services team at LF and have them make it look pretty.
Yeah, in time for SmartNIC. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. In time for SmartNIC Summit. And we'll end up having to take this deck and expand it for SmartNIC Summit because that's not enough for a half-day event. It will require each person that's speaking for that half-day event to cherry pick some of these and add their own slides for the technical content.
Paul, did you say this Thursday, the 20th? Sorry, the 20th between noon and 2, between 9 and noon?
Noon and 2 Pacific.
I am free anytime between noon and 2 this Thursday.
Okay. Mark, are you available at that time and interested? Are you looking, Mark?
Yeah, I can do the 12 to 1 Pacific
12 to
on
1?
Thursday.
Okay.
Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah, I'm booked all morning Thursday and Friday until 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. on Thursday. In fact, even the TAC now that I look at this, the TSC meeting on Thursday, I'm gonna have to step in for a few minutes on the discussion and then sneak back to my other meeting.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'll set it up for noon to 1 now.
Are you still waiting for feedback from the TSC members? Because I think our last time we looked at it, it was almost ready, right, for other input to be added in.
Pretty close. There was some, we wanted to look more at the end of the deck and flesh out that this slide, what is a DPU, the NIC continuum kind of slide.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So there were those two that we wanted to continue work on. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
And then we'll pass it off to, we should probably ask the TSC to be involved this week as well.
Agreed. Yep.
Okay. That is my second topic. Website design. May, do you have any update on how they started that? I haven't seen anything come back from the creative team. We told them here, we told, searching for her name, I want to say Angela, but that's not it.
Elena.
Yeah, we talked to Elena and gave her kind of our direction and what we thought, and do you know if anything has come of that yet? Is there a mock-up we can see or any of that?
So they are still waiting on us. I think that you took the action item to add the content to that creative brief.
Add the okay. I will have to go back and look at that.
Let me see. Here's the link that she went over. And so in the chat.
You go look at that.
And so I think what we went through the general menu stuff.
Yes.
So now, yeah, she just needs us to give us like the content of what to move over. Unless we're moving everything over.
I thought we were moving everything over, and it does look like I do need to supply like lists of videos, a list of events that were intended to go. We need governing board and TSC headshots, social links, that sort of stuff.
Okay, but everything else is staying the same?
I think that was the decision of the TSC, is that the content of the existing website would stay pretty much the same. Move things around, yes. Make it look better, yes, but the content pretty much stays the same. And then there were a few things that we were adding, like a list of events that so like a calendar that we're intending to participate in,
Okay.
and links to the videos.
Okay. Great, then I will follow up with Elena to let her know that they can get started just moving things over while you add the other items here.
Yeah, I will add those other items. So where did I go with my notes?
Take that.
Got it. All right. It's like I have 4 tasks. Somehow I'm going to get that done. Taking notes, sorry about that. So that is the status that I know of those things. That's all I had. And May, the last one here is press release.
Yes, so, and Mark, jump in if you have anything else to add, but so for the press release, we discussed, we're gonna highlight that ARM has joined the project officially as a premier member, but also we're going to mention hopefully the new website as well as our activities for SmartNIC Summit. And so I've started the draft. We've got quotes in the process. So we'll be getting those, or we'll be sending those to some of the leaders to get approval. But in the meantime, I think ARM is working on a blog post that'll soft launch on their website to talk about the membership and to talk about a speaking engagement that they have related to OPI for later this month.
Yeah, we kept the mention of that talk out of the blog simply because we can't control the timing, but the blog is written and ready to go live. We're just going through our internal review process, and I can share that blog if folks are interested in seeing it.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Perfect. Yes, and then I'll put a call out on Slack for people to amplify on their social media if they would. So
That'd be
And
excellent.
Mark, when do you anticipate it going live?
Well, I was hoping end of this week, but it might be early next week.
Okay,
Yeah, it's getting close. It's been submitted for internal approval. And that usually takes a week, and that was done on Friday last week. So hopefully we're hoping by Friday, and then it's just a question of lining it up. Like we can, if it makes sense, we can discuss lining it up with the press release, assuming that goes out before, say, the end of next week. Otherwise, I think the blog ends up going up first. We want to make sure it goes up just before, at least before our talking slot at OCP, which is end of next week. I think it's the 26th or 27th.
okay.
okay.
And May, I sent you all the information on that. We'd welcome promotion again, hopefully again after the blog is released so that we have an actual announcement, but timing will be pretty tight on that one.
Okay,
Window between the blog and the event will be really tight.
okay. Yep, I do have admin rights now to the LinkedIn page. Still
Yes.
working on Twitter. But I've got the stuff for social, so I could be ready as soon as the links are live.
Did the stuff I send you not work?
There was an issue with 1Password, and so Sridhar just has to send me a new link. And he was delayed because he was traveling.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I believe that it was Noah Noah set up YouTube. Anyway, yeah.
If I can't get that link to 1Password, Paul, I may just call you and ask you to give me the credentials over the phone, if that's okay, just so that I can start posting.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, so the issue is getting access to the OPI 1Password.
Correct. Yes.
Sounds good.
And then Paul, if the next time you talk to the SmartNIC folks, if you could ask them when the schedule will be live, because since we don't have a website, we're really gonna have to rely on their website for all the links for the press release. And so we can't really post the press release until we have that. So I'm hoping that they are going to go live soon.
Oh, the SmartNIC Summit folks
Yeah,
and their calendar.
yeah,
Yeah, they're gonna do bi-weekly meetings now instead of monthly meetings. And I think the first meeting is the first week of May, or maybe even last week of April. I'm not certain. I'll have to look. Oh, and Mark put the blog in there. Thanks.
Yeah, it's PDF. Sorry, I was trying to get the Word version, but this one was quicker to find. If there's any comments, feel free to let me know and I can forward. I'll
Okay.
find the Word version. There's still time for changes if there's a need.
Okay. May, just so you know, I put in Slack something for you.
okay,
And that's for Twitter. And the login is social@opiproject.org.
okay.
So there you get half of it in this Slack and half of it in Slack and half of it in this chat.
Okay. We're in stealth mode here.
There you go. It's not like it's super critical password, but there you go.
Thank you. Okay, perfect.
And thanks, John, thanks, Mark. I'll take a look at that blog. I have nothing else to go over, unless anyone else does. If not, I think we can call it an early meeting.
Just want to remind folks that I went ahead and put a slot for OPI at the OCP Summit in the fall. So we've got a spot reserved, and I'm hoping that shortly after the SmartNIC Summit, we can get a team together and figure out what we want to do there.
Oh, okay.
There is
So
a
it would be
demo or-
another speaking opportunity at OCP Summit. You said in the fall.
It's in the fall. It's in San Jose. It's the big OCP event, and this would be more than a talking slot. This would be a an opportunity to be at the booth and have our own station.
Okay.
Within the ARM Platinum space.
Okay. Sounds
So we
good.
can take note of that and table it until after SmartNIC.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Perfect. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. We can call it a meeting, and I will get the recording up when I get it from Zoom, and the notes are posted to the wiki.
Perfect. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks all. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye for now.